Gemini, this is EJ with your reading from April 14th through April 20th of 2025. And before we get started, as I was trying to meditate and do your reading, I had to restart it several times just because like the plane flew by. There was a lot of outside noise. And for me, that's an indication of a lot of things going on. So you're going to be pretty busy come this mid-April going on into May and June. I feel like that there's a lot of fast moving things. So action, right? So the Eight of Wands shows up, and that's a time for action. That's manifestation. That's good news coming in, travel, things happening that bring progress, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be the time that you're going to be busy, whether it's, you know, starting a new job, starting a business, starting maybe interviewing, maybe looking into schools, maybe you are traveling, but maybe there's something you've been working on, and then finally there's sudden results, right? Suddenly there's progress, but there's exciting things happening here, especially with the Eight of Wands. And then you have the Judgment card, and the Judgment, it says it's time for a second chance. There's always a second chance. There's progress here, right? There's things just moving in, you know, it brings new things. It brings new careers, new opportunities, new possibilities, you know, and you're kind of reviewing, right? So you're kind of like remembering in the past, like you're reviewing, so you're oh my gosh, words are hard. You're reviewing the past and deciding, is it worth to reconsider a decision that you have made, right? Because there's something here that you're going to have to make a decision, and you don't want to make that same mistake. So you're kind of thinking back to the past so that you don't repeat it going forward. So I do see that here too, but I see a lot of things just coming into play for you, especially when it comes to these two cards. And with the Judgment, again, it's a second chance. It's a time of renewal, new opportunities that are coming in for you that is going to allow you to move forward and bring progress, or all of a sudden there's action, right? And again, there could be some travel involved as well, but I do see that there's unknown promotions. There's a lot of self-evaluation. That's the word I was looking for. There's a lot of self-evaluation just because you don't want to make the same mistake. There are money and contracts, again, coming your way. There's something that's definitely going to change your status from where you're at going forward. Then the next card we have is the Chariot, Cancer energy, and this is you can move with confidence, right? You can move forward with confidence. You're taking charge. You're staying focused. You know, whether there's progress in projects or business or, you know, employment, you know, promotions, whatever it might be, there's progress. And I feel like there's going to be some major decisions that you're going to have to make, especially because it is paired with the Judgment and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands being news that comes in, and then the Judgment is that you're going to have to make a decision here about how you're going forward. So it could be that you have two possible opportunities coming your way, and you're going to have to make that decision. I do see that there is travel, okay? And I also feel like when it comes to career and money, there's like great leaps forward. Like you're on a path of success and financial reward. You're on a path that is definitely going to change your status in a big way. So if that's something that you have like been working on, know that this is the time that it's going to happen. But note that you are going to have to make some kind of decision. Let's see what else comes up for you. You have the Page of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Now, the Page of Cups usually brings us some really good news, right? Some news that inspires us. It comes out as a surprise, like out of nowhere. So I do see some good news here, maybe some job promotions, or, you know, it's just something that makes you happy, and it's allowing you to take it's allowing you to take, I don't say happy steps forward. Hello. It's allowing you to take positive steps forward into this new path of success. So I do love this. I do see that you are on that. You're on a good path. You're on the right journey. You're going the right direction. But again, I do see that you are going to have options here. What else, Spirit, for Gemini, April 14th through the 20th? I can't believe, you know, we're already April 14th. Gemini, here we are, Lover's card. And this is, again, all about decisions that you're going to have to make, right? So there's decisions that you're going to have to make, but know that you're really you're really evaluating, you're really trying to consider which, maybe it's job A or job B, path A, path B, but know that just consider your options carefully, because I see that there's one that is a long-term thing, and then there's one that is a short-term thing that will so I feel like the short term is just kind of like now, right? I feel like, let's just say for instance, Tuesday you got a job offer and it was the short term one that's like a contract job, right? Or something that will bring some kind of income. But then you said yes to that, but now you have on Wednesday you get a phone call saying, hey, we'd like to bring you in for a second interview or third interview. And then now you have to consider, like, do I take job A, or do I go to job B's interview? Or do I take job A and still go to job B's interview and then see if I get it? Like, so I see that you're really trying to consider something here. You're trying to consider something that is long term, but something short term is coming into play here. Okay, so I do see that. So again, you are going to have to make some kind of decision, or you're just trying to decide, for some of you, where you're going to live. You're really trying to focus on where your future happiness and what is going to bring, what does that look like, right? It's not only, because success means a whole lot of things, right? But it's not just that. It's not, it has to do with having stability, having a solid foundation, having, that financial stability as well, but also your happiness, because that's important, right? So I feel like this could be something that you're trying to do, is you're trying to figure out long term where you would be happy. So would it be with B or would it be with A, or however it might resonate with you. So we do have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is an opportunity that's being offered to you. It is a financial offer here that, it's going to allow you to move forward in a positive way. And I feel like if you are offered an opportunity that isn't paying as much as job B, let's say job A isn't paying as much as job B, but they're both long term, where are you going to be the happiest, right? So I feel like this is something that you need to think about, but I also feel like know that you're going to have more than enough to be able to take care of yourself. Okay, so know that that's there. I do see a lot of wealth and prosperity here. I do see investments coming into play. Oh wow, you guys, look at that, the Fool. So this is the center of your reading. So you are really, with the Lover's card being here, trying to figure out what direction to go in and make really good decisions here. So the Fool card being new beginnings, new journeys, new opportunities. This is amazing, right? So I do feel like I know that there's a risk at everything, even when we do take a job opportunity, but we definitely need to consider our options very carefully to make sure that those are going to align with our future goals. And that's where you're going to have to take that leap of faith, right? So again, going back to really figuring out, and I know, like, in interviews, you really can't tell, but sometimes you can tell the vibes of the people, and if that's going to mesh with you, and are you going to be able to go to this job or this relationship long term. Okay, so I do see there is going to be a great opportunity that comes your way, and I see you going towards that. I see that you as far as love, there's a new path that takes you forward, and I feel like with this opportunity, this relationship, it looks good. Okay, but I feel that, again, this is time for you to take that leap of faith on you. Really believe on what you could do. Really look at your happiness as well, because sometimes we can take an opportunity, right, that offers us a lot of money, more than we thought of, but are we going to be happy? Because that's the most important thing, because then you're going to be back on the drawing board, trying to find this other opportunity, and how long will that take? So really consider those things when you're interviewing, when you're promotions, because you also have to look at not just job titles, money. You have to look at the department, the people that work there, the management, their styles, right? The company, the relationships, all of those things take into play on how it's going to affect your future and your happiness. Okay, so I feel like your happiness is the most important, because that's where you're going to shine, and that's where you can be your best self. And know that when you do that, there's always promotions there. So you'll stand out, and then you'll be able to get that promotion that'll bring you to that, level that you need to be at. And as far as relationships go, I feel that, maybe if you're single and you're meeting someone, you're not sure of that person, they're not your type, but give it a chance, right? Give it a chance, because if the conversation is there and the laughter is there and the feel good is there, then why not move forward, right? But if there's a red flags, then we need to stop, right? Now, as far as current relationships, if you're in a relationship, it's all about building upon that to move towards a new path, right? Something better, to allow things to flow. The next card we have is the Empress card. I love the Empress because life is full of abundance, right? It's time to be, I feel you're going to be very, 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 very productive, okay? But I feel like that makes you happy and it makes you move forward, because that's one thing I know about being a double Gemini is boredom is not my friend. Boredom is not my friend. I need to be busy at all times. But with this, money is flowing and love is flowing. Things are moving in a good place. I feel like you're starting to feel more content. There's more harmony. There's more peace. And I feel that with this, you're really starting to, again, I don't know why the Empress is bringing this energy out again, and I can't emphasize it more than I am. But it's all about really being careful on what things you choose, okay? Now, work-wise, I do feel like if you do choose the lesser paid job, know that there's always a time for growth, as I mentioned, because they're going to see your worth. Because where you're happy, you shine more. Where you're not happy, that's when the other ugly Gemini comes out, and it's like, you know what? Sometimes we say things that we mean it, but in a not so friendly way, right? Not so professional way. So I feel like with this is, again, it's really emphasizing to be careful what you're on your decisions, okay? The choices that you make. All right, what else, Spirit, for Gemini? This is amazing reading so far, though, because it's very positive and there's a lot of progress here. There's travel and there's communication and exciting news, and you're busy. You're just going, right? You're going, you're moving forward. Just like the Chariot, you're taking those reins and you're moving forward with confidence, because you know that this is it, right? This is going to be good. I mean, this is, yeah, Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is you taking that wand and taking action towards what it is that you want, right? Creating that new beginning, creating that business, but it's new work, new relationships, time of travel, being very creative, finding inspiration. And it's also a sign of fertility, especially because the Empress is there, okay? But know that this does allow you to have those great beginnings, whether it is starting a new job, starting a project, starting something creative, it's just, now's the time to take action, right? And know that you have that ability, though. So there's a lot of exciting things happening here. I see unexpected income as well, so that is looking really, really positive. And then we have a bonus card of the Star card, and that is Aquarius energy. Let me move this up so it's all in focus. And with the Star card, I love it because it's all about having faith and believing things are going to work out in your favor. It's about balance, and it's also a card of you being guided and you're being inspired to take action. So because this is here, the Ace of Wands, and then we have the Chariot here, this is you inspired to take action towards something and really believing in that, right? So there's guidance and there's hope and there's faith and inspiration, and this is a time to really move forward with your talents, really express your feelings. You are on the right path, you're focusing on the right things, and maybe it's a time of you to declutter your mind, declutter your home, declutter, just get rid of things that are you no longer need or are using, right? Get rid of those thoughts, get rid of, and let's have a fresh start, right? That Fool card, let's have that new beginning. I see you, though, being acknowledged at work. I see you being rewarded when it comes to your efforts. And here goes a plane again, you guys. Give me a second. So I really see that you are being rewarded when it comes to all of your efforts and your creativity. So maybe it is something that you have a side hustle or you're trying to create a business. Know that, you're going to be recognized for what you do, okay? So let's go ahead and let's shuffle here and clarify. Divine Universe, Holy Spirit, and Guardian Angels, please clarify this reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini. Clarify with honesty and integrity, please, for Gemini. April 14th to the 20th of 2025. Let's clarify this for Gemini, please. April 14th through the 20th of 2025. Let's clarify. All right, let's clarify this full card. Let's clarify this full card for Gemini. What is this full card bringing? What is this full card bringing to Gemini, please? What is this? Okay, so we have the Judgment. So it's time for a fresh start. It's time for a second chance. It's time to make the right decisions and take that leap of faith, right? Listen to your intuition. I see that there's an ending, a closure to a path or journey that just wasn't it for you. I see you making decisions to, because I see you're trying to decide which path to go with this new job or career or relationship, whatever your situation is. You are trying to make that decision, and I feel like know that you will make the right one. Listen to your intuition. That's very, very important here, okay? And then you have the Nine of Pentacles. See, definitely has to do with money. Has to do with a job, maybe a business of some sort. But with that Nine of Pentacles, I really like it because it's all about you coming into your own, right? Having stability, not having to worry financially, really being happy with, being content and with where you're at, okay? Really enjoying your accomplishments, and I just don't feel like you're having to depend on anybody else, right? Or anything else, or I feel like you're standing on your own. You're really independent, and you're really feeling comfortable about that because I feel like nothing is standing in your way to achieve your goals or moving in the path that you want to. And I feel like as far as relationships, you reach that comfort level. But nonetheless, I feel more about, business and career. And I do feel like you are moving into a time of financial independence. And then you have the Three of Cups that tells me that you're celebrating this, right? You're celebrating this new path, this new journey, this new direction, your independence, and not having to worry anymore when it comes to your finances. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this Eight of Wands. This Eight of Wands for Gemini. What is this all about? Eight of Wands for Gemini, please. Eight of Wands. So we have the Page of Pentacles, and that is a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. Now with the Page of Pentacles, this is news that's coming into you, but I see you gaining small gains. So small things, there's small gains when it comes to work, when it comes to life, when it comes to a business, but know that that's going to build up to wealth, okay? I feel like you're really wanting to create a life. I see a new, again, with the Page of Pentacles, there's news coming in when it comes to an offer, okay? Financial offer. Let's get one for that Eight of Wands. One more for that Eight of Wands, please. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So I love it because news comes in. You're moving forward with this. The Eight of Cups is all about movement forward. It's all about progress. It's moving away from a stressful situation, moving away from things that just don't make you happy and align with you, the drama, the negativity, the stresses, the worry. You're moving away from that, and I love that that's there. All right, Spirit, let's go ahead and clarify the Empress. Let's clarify this Empress for Gemini. Let's clarify. Okay, we have the World. We're clarifying the Empress. The Empress, if I can speak, and the World, with the World, right? So things are coming full cycle for you. You're starting to feel fulfilled. Things are manifesting, right? So because it is paired with the Empress, things are manifesting. There's closures of deals and contracts. There's new doors opening. There's celebration. Again, you're just coming full cycle. It's like the world is becoming, you are sitting on top of the world. Let's put it that way. You are starting to feel like the world has listened, God has listened, the angels are listening, and now these doors are opening. Things are starting to happen and make you feel good. All right, Spirit. We got one more card, so let's go ahead and do that. That's the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands I like because it talks about creating success and new opportunities that will definitely enhance your life, whether it's an advancement, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a new job, new experiences. But that's what I see here is a lot of new experiences that advance you forward and create a lot of great success here. And it really is going to change your whole situation, okay? There goes another plane, you guys. I don't understand. This airport is really small, so it shouldn't have all these planes coming through here. But all right, let's go ahead and talk about the Six of Pentacles for Gemini. What is the Six of Pentacles about for Gemini? The Six of Pentacles, please, for Gemini. What is the Six of Pentacles all about for Gemini, please? Six of Pentacles for Gemini. What is this all about? Okay, hold on. Let me just go do a quick shuffle. Cards flew, but it was like a lot, like half the deck. So we're just going to do a quick shuffle here. And they were all face down. I really feel like you're trying not to repeat the past, you guys. I really am sensing that. And so you're really, I think Spirit is really trying to tell you that, you know, now's the time to be really careful on your decisions, on what direction you move in or what decisions you make. Okay? Six of Pentacles for Gemini, please. What is the Six of Pentacles about for Gemini? Oh, let me grab this card that fell. The Tower. Wow, you guys, the Tower is clarifying that Six of Pentacles. So I feel like this offer that is coming in is going to be a really good offer because the Tower is all about change. It's change that brings new beginnings. It's dramatic changes. It's a new outlook, you know, unexpected change that you weren't even thinking about. You know, maybe you were applying to jobs, right? But the same old, you always get the rejection notice. And then, boom, you have all these offers. That's kind of what happens here. There is a change in your career or your position. There's new businesses, new ideas, new avenues, new environments. So definitely something new is coming in. I just feel like the Tower is bringing something great because it's paired with that Six of Pentacles. So it definitely has to do with your finances and how you make your money. But it does look like it's going to be very good. Okay. Let's go ahead and clarify the Lovers. Let's clarify the Lovers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lovers came out clarifying you, okay? Let me grab these cards that fell. I'm going to go ahead and do another shuffle. Lovers card, please. Lovers card for Gemini. What is this all about? King of Pentacles. Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus. Now with the King of Pentacles, this lets me know that you are going to be very solid, very grounded. There's really good growth here. Maybe some of you moving into a senior position or accepting a senior position, but really being comfortable and having stability, okay? I really do feel like this is going to be something really, really good for you. Now you also have the Strength card, which is the Leo card, oh my gosh, Leo energy. And this is all about you having strength and courage to persevere, right? To move forward with this and not overthink the situation, because I do see you, you know, considering which options, but this is saying, you know what, listen to within, right? You're going to overcome whatever, just, you know, because having to make a choice is hard. Okay, especially if you're a double Gemini, if you got Virgo in you, because you're gonna overanalyze everything. And I feel like you're going to overcome that. And I feel like you are going to make the right decision and you're going to move it's scary, right? Change is scary sometimes. And even if it's good change. And sometimes we're just like, oh my gosh, is this the right move? Is this, we overthink it. So let's not do that. Let's just be patient and listen to our intuition and move forward with that. So I just feel like this is saying that you're going to move towards a time that you're going to be grounded and solid. But you just need to not allow your overthinking to get in the way. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and let's clarify the Judgment. Let's clarify the Page of Cups, please. Page of Cups. Wow. The Fool card. So we have it twice now. The Page of Cups is bringing us new, news, exciting news, but now we have it clarified with the Lovers, which is going to create a new path for you where you're no longer going to be worried. This is a new beginning. This is a new journey. This is a new work, new career, new whatever, relationship. I don't feel like you're going to be worried. You're going to feel very optimistic about this. So this news that comes in allows you to be very optimistic, and I love that because that's exactly what we need. We don't need to be overthinking anything. Make our decision and move forward with that, right? Have the courage and strength to pull forward. Let's not stop and think about it again. No, make a decision and go. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. But I see things looking really good here, Gemini. I don't feel like things are going to go to the wayside. I don't feel like you're going to make a bad choice or decision. It looks very promising. Now, am I promising you're not going to make the bad choice or decision? No, because we overthink everything, especially if you're a double Gemini. And you could be thinking like, well, if I had this more money, I could get out of debt faster, or I could move. But are you going to be happy? Is it going to let you be the best you? So is that environment, is that a good fit? Is the company a good fit? Is the person you're going to be reporting to a good fit? Those are the things you got to look at. I'm going to give you a quick story because I made a decision one time to go with the company that paid more money than the one that paid less money. And it was a big mistake because now look at me. I'm still here trying to find a job. It was a big mistake. The company was like fraudulent. It was making, it wasn't paying their employees right, etc., etc., etc. So let's not overthink it. Let's not think that because it's more money, it's going to be better. Now, if the job A offers you enough, right, more than enough, that Six of Pentacles, and you're going to be happy and the environment feels good and the person you're going to report to, you align with them, you have the same goals and values or, attitude, because that's another important thing. You don't want to report to someone that has an ego trip, right? Because then that's going to crash and you're not going to be happy and you're not going to you're not going to be very productive in a happy way. So, don't overthink it, but make the right decision. Looks like you will. It looks like there's new beginnings here. You have the Fool twice. You're ready to take the reins and you're ready to move forward with confidence, and that's what's important. Okay, so I hope this brought some insight to you. Let me know how it resonated, and yeah, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Comment below. Check out your playlist up at the corner, and I will talk to you soon. Until next time.